What's up, everyone? I'm GG Pinball. On this week's episode of Virtual Pinball News of the Week, we've got a Black Knight Sword of Rage out in the wild. We've got VPinWorkshop going full steam releasing tables, and we also got Zen putting out a new beer. That's right, stick around, you don't want to miss it.
Virtual Pinball News of the Week. Yeah, it's GG's Pinball Virtual News of the Week.
Hello, my glorious little pinheads out there. I hope you've had a wonderful week. Let's get right into the Virtual Pinball News of the Week. First up, we have what seems like it's a whip, but also in release. Vich52 has put out his version of Black Knight's Sword of Rage. If you're into pinball, you've probably heard of Black Knight. If you're just getting into pinball, let's go over the history of Black Knight. The original Black Knight made lots of new advances in pinball in the 80s. It had the first upper playfield on a pinball table and was also the first pinball table that came out with magnasaves. This really meant a lot going forward to the advancement of pinball as we know it today. Black Knight 2000 is the sequel, my personal favorite, probably the best soundtrack you'll ever hear in a pinball game. Check the new song, see if you hear any similarities. A few years ago, Stern had put out Black Knight Sword of Rage. This was like the end of the trilogy. Fast forward a few years, and now we're starting to see a VPin of it. There's a little bit of debate out there about how quickly a table can release into the VPin world without causing waves with the manufacturers. Vich52 did go and do his research. It's not listed anymore on the sales site for Stern. For a lot of people that don't know, the forbidden table caused a lot of stir up. There was a little bit more behind the Ghostbusters debacle. From what I have read, they have apparently used some of the coding that actually came from Farsight, which is the studio to develop Pinball Arcade, which is now the defunct Pinball Arcade. There didn't seem to be any issues when Ghostbusters came out in Future Pinball, and that's because it really was designed from the ground up. They weren't using the ROMs or anything. It's going to be interesting to see where this goes because it is a newer table. I think he's going to be fine with getting away with it. It's not totally finished. He's still working on it. There's a huge pup pack with it. If you go to download this table, I will give you a heads up. If you are from the US, the download site is going to say that it is not available in the US. If you're going to download this file in the US, you do need a VPN to trick that out. Link down below if you're interested in checking it out. You have any interest in building your own table for VPX? If you do, VPinWorkshop has actually released a table to show some of the methods that they do when they create these tables. You hear me talk about VPinWorkshop all the time on the show. They're fantastic at what they do. They are the best. It is a group of people that know their stuff and they build these beautiful tables. We're actually gonna go over two of them later on in this episode. They put this table out to help people start working on their own original projects. This is really cool of them. I think this is fantastic. I mean, not only does VPinWorkshop put out some of the most beautiful work you're gonna find in virtual pinball, they're now encouraging people to, hey, why don't you try this? This is how we do it. I love the fact that they're doing this. This just makes the community that much better. I love seeing people reaching out to help people and to make better for all of us in the pinball community. This is something really cool. If you've ever been interested in trying to toy around even with the table, they got the way to start for it, so definitely check it out. Link down below. We've got a Builder's Corner submission for you this week. Marcos from Argentina has sent me his beautiful, as he calls, the Transformer. This is made of pretty much parts that he found lying around that people throw out and built this. I love this table, and I'm going to tell you why I love this table. His table does not look like the cookie cutter table that you're going to see. It's not an At Legends pinball table that's been converted for VPX. It's not one of these $4,000 cabs that look like every other pinball table. He did what he did, and he can play pinball on it, and I think that's fantastic. I'm a big fan of that. As you've seen, like with mine, I definitely don't go the normal route. I think it's really important to put something like this out on the show. For the people that aren't playing on cabs, the people that feel like they either don't have the money or that they just don't have the ability to make this. Stop underestimating yourself. Watch some YouTube videos. This is not as crazy hard as you think, and you will be so happy that you built this yourself. Like, it makes it that much better. Thank you again, Marcos, for submitting this. You know, now that Marcos has built his own cabinet, he can play me in virtual pinball. That's right, the Elite Weekly Virtual Pinball Challenge is a Facebook group that plays competitively, but not so competitively. Awesome group of people. We have 3 tables a week that we play. 1 weekly for league play. We play a midweek throwback challenge, and we have a weekend warriors table. A lot of tables that we play are on the newer side. Some are exclusive to the group, and it's all fun. The people in this group are super happy to help out with any issues you might have, and they just want to play and have a good time. No drama, no nothing like that. So if you want to play me, and you want to see how bad I really am, because I'm bad, make sure you check it out. The link's in the description down below. I want to play you in pinball, so come play me. Okay, releases of the week. Let's start with Zen. They put out beer. That is right. Zen has worked on a collaboration to put out a pinball beer. This is the best release I feel Zen's had in a few years. It looks like they have 2 different beers, a Hefeweizen and a Marzen. Marzen is a more of an Oktoberfest type beer, my personal favorite type of beer. So if anyone in the New Jersey area sees these, please email me because I have had no luck finding them. Please email me. VPX releases of the week. Let's start with the heavy hitters, Virtual Pinball Workshop, because they've had 2 tables come out since my last episode. One just released last night being the Data East Star Wars, and another being the Goonies. Let's start with Star Wars. As always, table looks beautiful. I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Doing some comparisons back and forth, they really do fine-tune these tables, like when it comes to the physics and everything about it. This is going to be a cool one to check out if you are a Star Wars fan. Yeah, my firstborn's named Luke. Yeah, there's a reason for it. The other VPinWorkshop table that has come out recently is the Goonies Never Say Die edition. The Goonies table was already around. VPin did their magic to it, right? So they reworked all the graphics. They've fixed errors. They've added modes. The table plays fantastically well. There is a pup pack out for it. I don't play personally this one with the pup pack, but I love their backglass for it. It's actually beautiful. So yeah, definitely an interesting one to check out if you've never played the original. And if you have played the original, it's definitely a great update. Some cool modes in there. Love the one-eyed Willie chair. And some of the callbacks that come out on this table are fantastic and brings me back to being a kid. I won't lie, me and my wife were playing this the other night, and for about the last week, I've had the "It's good enough for you." It's that Cyndi Lauper song. Yeah, been stuck in my head. As always, VPinWorkshop tables are must-haves on your cab. Make sure you download both these tables. Jerry! Phenom has put out a Seinfeld table. Seinfeld was a sitcom in the early 90s. Jerry Seinfeld and crew. Funny show. Looks like a cool table. Might be one for you to check out. Base Raider has re-uploaded Team America World Police with the pup pack, which is interesting. I've always wanted to play this table. This table went missing like when I first got into virtual pinball. I never had a chance to. I believe this was one of those ones that was saved from the VPin demise. So could be a cool one to check out if you don't already have it. Link down below. Base Raider has also put out a new table this week of Dream Daddy Pinball. This is based on the Dad Sim video game. Dad dating sim video game. What? Apparently the modes in this are to unlock dates with the other dads in the town that you've moved into, and once you've unlocked the 7 dates, you then go into a wizard mode. Looks like Papa Smurf is back from vacation traveling around Europe. JP Salas has put out the Ender 1975 black and red. Beautiful looking table. It's got that card theme to it. If it's EM tables you like, this is probably the one to check out. Switching over to VR table releases, Raja Joey has been busy. Yes, he has. 4 tables Raja's got for you. They're all Gottlieb tables ranging from years of 1978 through 1982. He's put out James Bond, Star Racer, Close Encounter of the Third Kind, and Punk. One of the things I really do like that he did here that is VR specific, he's made specific models for rooms in each one of these. So the pictures that I have featured here show those rooms for each one. You know, you can see with the Punk one, he kind of looks almost like a steampunkish type room that you're in there. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, you're out in space. James Bond, you're in like London. That's really cool. James Bond is one that I don't have on my table and actually I'm going to put in. I did mention a few episodes ago that you can take these VR tables if you can't find other versions of them and you can put them in a regular cab. You just have to adjust some of the settings. If you're looking to complete a Gottlieb collection, this might be the way to do it. Let's switch it over to mods of the week. Haunt Freaks has put out the Dude 2.0, the big Lebowski table. They've done a total graphic overhaul of this, and it looks sweet. This table can play without the pup pack, but the calls from the movie will not be in the table if you're not using the pup pack. And honestly, for a table like this, why wouldn't you be using the pup pack? Definitely a cool one. Bellotito has put a visual mod of Bram Stoker's Dracula out. This might be one of my favorite visual mods that I've seen of this table. There's been a few out there, but he really made this dark looking, like it should be. It's about Dracula, right? And he says, you know, some of the color choices for that table at the time were a little bit questionable, but this looks like an evil table. I wish he would have had this out for Halloween. This is an awesome looking table, and apparently I think he's changed some music to it too to make it even more eerie. Last but not least, Starline has put out a modification of Stern's 2010 Avatar. Starline has updated all the playfield graphics on this, and actually I think I might prefer this over the original playfield graphics. I was never a big Avatar guy, but I kind of like what Starline is going for here. Starline does his tables in 10.7, so make sure you are using 10.7 before you try to use this table. That about wraps up for the week. If you've liked this video, make sure you hit like and subscribe down below. If you have any questions, submissions, or anything like that, feel free to hit me up at my email, ggpinball@gmail.com. I'm GG Pinball, and this has been your Virtual Pinball News of the Week. Later, pinheads!